Long before cities rose from the earth, before walls, roofs, or written language, early humans lived under an open and unforgiving sky. Nature was not something they observed from a distance. It surrounded them, controlled them, and tested them every day. And among nature's greatest challenges were rain, storms, and sudden natural disasters. For early humans, weather was never a background detail. It was a powerful force that could decide whether they lived or died. When clouds darkened the sky and winds began to shift, there were no warnings, no way to predict what would come next. A calm day could suddenly turn into chaos. Rain fell without mercy, soaking the ground, turning solid land into thick mud and chilling exposed skin. What seems ordinary to us today was once a terrifying event. Rain brought cold, and cold brought danger. Animal skins grew heavy and wet. Tools slipped from numb hands. Fires, the heart of survival, were constantly threatened. Fire meant warmth, safety, cooked food, and light. Without it, the night became a place of fear. Storms attacked this lifeline again and again. As rain intensified and thunder echoed through the sky, early humans reacted quickly. They moved. They searched for protection wherever the land allowed it. Caves, rocky overhangs, cliff faces, and dense forests became temporary shelters. These places blocked the wind and slowed the rain, but they were never guaranteed safety. Caves could flood. Forests attracted predators. Lightning could strike nearby trees without warning. Every storm forced a decision: stay and endure, or move and risk something worse. When thunder exploded overhead and lightning tore across the sky, fear took over. To early humans, the sky felt alive. The sudden flash of light followed by a violent sound was overwhelming. Trees caught fire, animals panicked, the ground shook beneath their feet. With no understanding of electricity or weather systems, it felt as if powerful unseen forces were watching them. Fire became the center of survival during these moments. Some members of the group focused entirely on protecting it. Burning embers were carefully shielded with stones, covered with dry leaves, or moved deeper into caves. Even a single glowing coal could mean survival after the storm passed. Losing fire meant hunger, exposure, and vulnerability to predators. Rain sometimes brought destruction far greater than discomfort. Rivers swelled and overflowed their banks. Floodwaters rushed through valleys and plains, wiping out campsites in minutes. Tools carved over weeks disappeared. Food supplies vanished. In some cases, people were swept away, never to be seen again. But humans learned. They noticed patterns. They remembered which areas flooded and which stayed dry. Over time, they avoided building camps too close to rivers. They chose higher ground. They watched the movement of water and adjusted their paths. This learning process, slow, painful, and often deadly, was one of the earliest signs of human intelligence shaped by disaster. Storms also changed behavior. During heavy rain and violent weather, people stayed close together. Children and the elderly were placed in the center. Bodies were pressed together for warmth. Fear was shared, but so was protection. These moments strengthened trust and cooperation. Survival was no longer individual, it was collective. Lightning was especially feared. It arrived without warning and struck with devastating force. A single bolt could split a tree, start a fire, or kill instantly. To early humans, lightning felt deliberate, as if the sky itself was choosing targets. During storms, groups gathered around fire, making sounds, movements, or gestures directed toward the sky. Some raised their hands, others arranged stones or repeated actions passed down from elders. These were not religious rituals as we understand them today. They were expressions of hope, attempts to communicate with forces beyond human control. In certain regions, the disasters were even more extreme. The ground itself began to move. Earthquakes shattered rock formations, destroyed shelters, and opened cracks in the land. People ran, disoriented and terrified, unsure whether the earth would swallow them whole. In volcanic regions, mountains erupted, releasing fire, ash, and smoke that darkened the sky for days or weeks. When volcanoes erupted, people fled. They followed animals away from danger, seeking cleaner air and safer land. Entire landscapes were abandoned. Yet over time, something unexpected was noticed. The land left behind, once the ash settled, became incredibly fertile. Plants grew thicker, animals returned, even destruction carried the seeds of renewal. Every natural disaster forced humans to adapt. They improved shelter designs. They used stones, wood, and earth more strategically. They learned to read the land, the slope of hills, the shape of valleys, the direction of wind. Knowledge was shared through stories, gestures, and imitation. Those who remembered survived longer. Those who taught others helped entire groups endure. Fear never disappeared, but it evolved. Instead of paralyzing humans, it sharpened their awareness. Storm clouds became signals. Changes in animal behavior became warnings. The sound of distant thunder meant it was time to move, prepare, or protect the fire. Most importantly, disasters reinforced one powerful truth: no human survived alone. Community was not optional, it was necessary. Sharing food, shelter, warmth, and responsibility increased the chances of survival for everyone. Leadership emerged during crises. Some individuals stayed calm, made decisions, and guided others to safety. These moments laid the foundation for social structure and cooperation. Over thousands of years, rain, storms, floods, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions shaped the human mind. They forced creativity, planning, and resilience. Each disaster left behind knowledge. Each survival story became a lesson passed to the next generation. Today, rain taps gently against windows. Thunder becomes background noise. Natural disasters are tracked by satellites and predicted by science. But long ago, these same forces tested humanity at its weakest stage. Early humans had no technology, no maps, and no protection, only observation, courage, and each other. Storms did not end humanity, they shaped it. They pushed humans to think, adapt, and unite. And because early humans endured rain, storms, and natural disasters, learning every time they survived, humanity continued forward, step by step, until civilization itself was born.